Welcome back to Don't Die with Doc. Electrolytes are important and you should replenish them. In a previous video, I said if it's real hot, you should drink a lot of water, and I neglected to say that you should also replenish electrolytes. Is that because I'm not overly concerned that Americans are getting enough salt? Or after the incredible success of the Got Milk campaign that they're getting enough calcium? Or my personal belief that that one Honey, I Shrunk the Whatever sequel did more for awareness of potassium in bananas than anything else in recent memory? Or that the Powerade and Gatorade companies have been spending like millions, if not billions of dollars to really ingrain in you how important it is to consume electrolytes all the time because you need to sweat the colors? Maybe. Or maybe I just forgot. Because drinking water is going to get you most of the way there. So I have a salty snack. If you're one of the people that falls into like one of the categories that I didn't mention in my very short video about trying not to die, where I said things like wet longs for the sky, avoid sky daddy for too long. If you have like POTS, you should take more precautions. If you have, if you're taking SSRIs or like several other kinds of medications, if you're on a stimulant of any kind. I don't know if the non-stimulant ADHD medications also, but probably. Here's a real quick breakdown. If you're on a medication that changes the rate at which the engine inside of you moves and goes, more heat's coming out of you. It's called a stimulant. It stimulates the engine that makes more heat. If you run hot, take more precautions. What precautions? We watched that other video, but cold things on your armpits and neck and crotch, or your hands and feet, any of the places that get real hot, cool them down. Avoid sky daddy. Put a hat on. I mean, electrolytes are demonstrably important. So like, have a Gatorade, have a Powerade. If I was going to recommend it, I'd cut them. That's what I do. If I'm going to drink a Powerade, I chug a little bit of it and then I pour water in. And I cut it with water for the rest of it because I'm not a pro athlete at the top of their game. I'm just trying to get a little extra salt and magnesium and calcium. What do those do, you ask? Let me dumb them down too. So when you move your muscles, they contract. So like your bicep, it squeezes together. How does that happen? Inside your brain, you have this long, creepy jellyfish thing that stretches through your entire body, and it shoots electrical signals all the way down it. And when it reaches your muscle, it releases a bunch of calcium, and that calcium tells your muscle to contract. In order for that electrical signal to get there and release all that calcium, it travels with the assistance of sodium. So it's kind of, if we're going to dumb this down, a guy running an Olympic torch from one guy to another. And potassium is maintaining the electrical chemical balance for this all to happen. So that's kind of like the people keeping the crowds back so the runner can go by with the torch. And the torch is the signal. And when they light it, it releases a bunch of crazed, dogs. And that's calcium. And that just, rounds all the muscles up into one tight little ball. And then eventually they got to go and they got to round all that calcium back up and put them back in their pens. That's where magnesium comes in. That's like kind of the guy that's like beating up the calcium to make sure it's doing its job right and getting back into the hole where it came from. You have like little pockets that keep calcium in it, sort of. Problem with dumbing things down is you essentially make yourself wrong to try to turn it into an analogy that'll fit into like any other context. So like people are gonna come in and be like, well, I mean, technically that's not what that does. But like, Enjoy is not a little anthropomorphic yellow woman voiced by Amy Poehler, but it gets the job done. I think some of those are also being burned up to like fuel some of this process. So anyway, you need to keep that balance of all those things up so they can all do their individual jobs. Otherwise, you're going to get muscle cramps. That's why you've heard of heat cramps. If you continue to run out of these things, you'll get progressively worse and have more problems, which is why you need to hydrate and also, eat things like dairy and salt and nuts and fibers and leafy greens, or chug a Gatorade, or just drink water that has that stuff in it in trace amounts. Anyway, in summary, electrolytes are really important, but you get most of them through your diet. So, still drink water when it's super hot and you don't want to die. Some people have told me that like Americans are drinking like super filtered water that has all the electrolytes and minerals taken out of it. I don't know if that's true. If that's you, drink spring water, something that's not had all the useful things for human survival stripped from it because you don't like the taste. The taste is living. Although, you know, a lot of you are going to be like, well, I don't like that either. Fair enough. Fair enough. This has been Don't Die with Doc.